important to have one of these tests done by someone that is BPI certified, which is Building Performance Institute certified, and we are actually certified by New York State, which is the NYSERDA program. There are rebates available for every homeowner in the state. There are very aggressive rebates and financing available through the NYSERDA program, through Con Edison. What the blower door does for us is actually we depressurize the house and we come up with the air changes that are happening in the house, and we use that number as a guide and we submit it with the paperwork to NYSERDA. So we have a number, basically air changers per hour in the house, and our goal is to lower that number. If we lower the air infiltration into the home and we properly insulate a home, we are now able to save people between 30 and 50% off their energy bills, which is really exciting. So you have a pure payback. In most homes that we do, we actually see on a residential side any place from a 30 to 50% reduction of their energy bills. And that works both ways for the summer and for the winter. Correct, this white tube actually we have to the outside, so we're basically, this is a reference to the outdoor pressure, and the red tube is actually connected to the fan, which is now going to give us our CFM number, which is pulling the infiltration number. Okay, so that's what those are the two different.
What is CFM?
CFM 50 is just air changes per hour, just a different guide on how NYSERDA wants it for the New York State program. So that's what we go by. Okay. And you'll see when I come up with a number here, and usually you'll see houses any place from 4,000 up to 13,000. So our goal is, okay, we know the number is 4,000 or 13,000. We can go into a home, we'll do some remediation work, and our goal will be to drop that number down by X amount. Say 1,000, 1,500, some houses 3,000. It all depends on how much work we can get done. There's an old fallacy out there that everyone says, oh, you can make my house too tight. You know, new building science is actually telling you cannot make your house tight enough. Okay? And if by chance we do make a house too tight, because we do test out after we do work on the homes, and if the number is lower than the standard number for that size house, we can actually take care of that very easily by just adding a little mechanical ventilation. Amen. Mechanical ventilation is something as simple as putting a bathroom fan in on a timer, and X amount of, maybe for 5 minutes, an hour every day, it goes on, just giving the house enough ventilation. Okay. But our goal is to make the house as tight as possible. This way we keep the energy in the home. We're not heating part of our beautiful Westchester County. Is an incandescent light bulb. If people would change to the new compact fluorescents, the CFLs, you'd use a third of the energy that this incandescent is using.
One third of the energy.
So basically a 60-watt bulb will burn at about 14 watts, give you the same light. Technology is out there to give you the same light. I know people had concerns at certain points, but now the bulbs are well enough when you buy them that they do give you the same light. The only thing that residents have to watch out for, if they are using a dimmable bulb, make sure they buy a dimmable CFL, because they do make them. What we do is, to start out this safety test for New York State program, we actually come down, we check what this is considered combustion appliance zone, which is actually your heating system and your hot water system. I've been here earlier today. I did the test on the boiler. I mean, you could take a look at this. This is probably a 80-plus-year-old boiler. It's bigger than me almost, which is hard to have. It's huge. But nowadays, being, this is oil, we can be as high as 86, 87% on a boiler. Make that recommendation to you. If people do make a conversion to gas, we can get as high as 96% efficiency on a. So as you see, this guy here, he's ready to go. He is ancient.
American radiator.
Oh yes, this guy.
Here's the example of the CFL he was talking about.
Right. Yeah.
To replace with the bulb upstairs.
And the interesting is, something this size, when they replace it, will probably be a third of the size.
Third of the size, yeah.
And more efficient, burn better, more comfort, save money. So this is one of the main things that we've done in this house. Now a lot of times we go into homes and we don't need to do a boiler, or we don't need to do hot water, but we will check it for draft. We will check for spillage. We check for CO. We make sure the boiler system and your hot water system is actually working properly in your home. It's very important. Interesting thing is we get down to these areas and you see all these spider webs. Usually spiders will only make spider webs where there's actually draftiness. So we know there's a draft problem down here, which you can see through the windows. Are very old. They're miscombobulated. They would probably need to be replaced. Seal that up. That would help out. We have a crawl space back in here, which is actually you can see the cold air coming right in there. The blue is cold, so we have a lot of cold air back into this crawl space. One of our goals on a house this way, if accessible back here, is to actually seal the rim joists and try and stop that cold penetration from coming to the house. And as you can see on your bottom door here, there's a door here. You can see the major infiltration from the bottom of your door. So the best thing would be have some sort of storm door here to kind of stop that. We really need to stop the air from coming into your basement area, because what happens is the cold air comes in from the bottom, stack effect takes into control, is now going to push your heat up through your house and actually out your attic and walls. So once we stop that airflow from happening and we insulate the house properly in an attic and walls, we're now keeping the energy in the house, and that's where we'll get that 30 to 50% savings on your energy bills, if not more. We get these old units like this on the electricity end. They use a major amount of energy. So when you do replace your washer or dryer or refrigerator, air conditioning units, make sure you get one that's Energy Star rated. All these holes and penetrations need to be sealed up. We would use foam to seal all this stuff up. And as you see here, so now all this cold air is getting in through your pipes, right up through your house, right up through your bathrooms, your kitchens, and so forth. So all this stuff would have to be sealed up. Back against the wall here, that wood piece right there is actually what we call the rim joist of the home. Our ideal situation, if accessible, is to seal that. Because what happens is you have the foundation and you have your sill plate laying on that. You have a lot of infiltration.
Right, right.
So we would air seal that with actually spray foam. And you can see the blue from the cold air that you get in through the rim joists. Okay, they do have a little of insulation up here. At some point, someone put some in years and years ago. And over the years, and basically there's about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. But over the years of dirt and infiltration coming into your house, look how black it turned. This was probably a white or a yellow at one point. So you have all this old toxins, dirt. Look at all the dust flowing right out of it as I play with it. Okay. So basically we have about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of insulation in this part of the attic. We recommend that there's at least 12 inches, so we'd actually come about this high. To give it a nice R value in the Northeast, you'd want an R value of at least R38 or higher. And right now the R value of this, I'm going to say, is probably 6 or 7, if that. Also on your basement floor, and you can see between the joists, there's the same thing. They have very little bit of insulation in there. So we would use a method called dense packing, which we would pull one of these boards up and blow the cellulose underneath these floorboards and pack it right to the top. Okay, and we use a product called cellulose. It's from National Fiber. It actually comes from uncirculated newspapers that are brought to the mill, pulverized, treated with borates. It's a green product. It's a healthy product. It acts as a fire barrier. It acts as an insect repellent. If you have mice in your house, they'll go away because they don't want to live in the stuff. It deadens sound. It's really, really a great, healthy, good product. It's better than fiberglass, which is a poor product. Health issues there. With the cellulose, you basically will get a healthier house. This is your true number that we should be working on, because you shouldn't even go your bedroom doors open. So say let's call.
Okay, say that again, just in case the fan was